Now, a new film screening in the capital this week gives Londoners an insight into life aboard the International Space Station like never before. Now, before we meet the award-winning filmmaker behind A Beautiful Planet, here's what you have to look forward to.
3 brave explorers are about to leave the safety of Earth. Their mission, 6 months in space to study microgravity, do biomedical research, and observe the Earth. They're sealed inside this tiny metal cocoon, a Russian Soyuz spacecraft traveling at 17,500 miles an hour. Their destination? The International Space Station.
Toni Myers, lovely to have you on London Live News. What an incredible film.
Well, thank you for having me. It's great to be here. I used to live in London, and thank you. I enjoyed making the film, too.
How do you begin to make a film like this?
Well, in fact, I can't take credit for the direction of it because we get the astronauts to shoot it for us. I can't go to space myself. And so we train them how to do that over a period of months. And of course, they're the best learners and very, very clever and creative. And so they do a terrific job.
How much contact do you have with them whilst they're up in space?
Oh, it's much more frequent nowadays. They call me on their cell phones when they have an idea they want to run past me. Our cameras were there for 15 months and over 3 crews that overlapped.
I think I'm right in saying you've been working closely with NASA for 25 years.
Yes, at least that long. And we've trained over 150 different astronaut and cosmonaut crews.
How have you seen the filmmaking process move on? I mean, given that you're able to speak to each other on mobile phones now, is it much easier to do this sort of thing now?
Well, the communication is wonderful to have that, but also this was our first digitally captured film, and it allowed us to shoot things that we had never been able to capture on film, on IMAX film before, because the film was very slow. With digital cameras, we got all the spectacular night scenes, things we'd never seen before, stars in the sky, thunder and lightning, and the aurora borealis, really magical.
We're seeing some of the incredible images on London Live News this lunchtime. But given that space travel is becoming, as time goes on, slightly more accessible than it once was, do you think our interest in this subject area will go down in any way as we're more able to go up and experience this sort of thing for ourselves?
I don't think interest will wane. Mine certainly hasn't over 25 years and all these films. I think there's a native curiosity that humans have about places they haven't been and maybe haven't been yet. And the possibility of going there is always a wonderful thing to contemplate. So that's what we try to do in these films, is to take people into space, take ordinary people like you and me that can't go right into space alongside the astronauts in zero gravity.
And Jennifer Lawrence narrating this film, what was it about that actress that made you want her involvement?
Well, I knew I wanted a female voice for the narrator because we have some voiceover from male astronauts, and a female voice seemed appropriate for the content of the film, which is really about the beauty of our planet and what's happening to it. And Jennifer Lawrence is, of course, a marvelously talented actor, and she's also a passionate environmentalist. So when I showed her the rough cut, she responded to the content very, very strongly, especially to cosmonaut or astronaut Samantha Cristoforetti, who's so eloquent in the film. And Jennifer said, she's the real star. I want to meet her. And so we managed to get them together at the premiere in New York.
And Jennifer Lawrence perhaps following her into space at some point?
You never can tell. She's a very young person. She's got a long future ahead of her, but she did a marvelous job. It was great to work with her.